Hi there, it's Kevin with RogueDeckBuilder.com here with a video on my top 10 spoiled cards from M14 that I am excited about. This is my personal list. This isn't the most powerful cards spoiled. Of course, Scavenging Ooze would be on this list, but I'm not too excited about Scavenging Ooze. It's a fun card. It's a great card. It's a great spike card. But this is Rogue Deck Builder, not SpikeDeckBuilder.com. So here's my list of my top 10 that I am most personally excited from M14. Let me just start off by saying I am very excited by M14. In Dragon's Maze, I had a hard time even making a top 10 list, and I didn't even make a video for it. But this particular set, M14, has a ton of cards. I can make already a top 25 list of cards I'm excited about, and we I think are 180 out of 250 so cards left. So there's still like 70 more cards to be spoiled. Yeah, so I'm very excited about this set. It looks like a great draft set. There already is definitely some strategies I'm seeing. I'm loving white and green especially, but the other colors are very good as well. Anyway, let's just go down this top 10 list. I'm going to do an article on this on my website, www.roguedeckbuilder.com. Go check it out, and I'll have a more detailed explanation of why it shows these cards and what decks they will fit into. So we'll start off with the number 10 card, which is right here, which is Path of Bravery. Path of Bravery says, as long as your life total is greater than or equal to the starting life total, creatures you control get +1/+1. Whenever one or more creatures you control attack, you gain life equal to the number of attacking creatures. I am loving this card for Soul Sisters especially. I wish it would have been 2 mana, but 2 mana might have been a little bit overpowered. I don't know how well 3 mana will work, but it's a great Windbrace Heights target. It might actually replace Honor the Pure completely because it does have that gain life aspect, which makes your Johnny's Pridemate and your Sarah's Ascendance, that's the card I'm thinking of, a lot better because you'll be able to get your life total up to 30 a lot easier, or just keep putting counters on your Johnny's Pridemate. So we'll see how it works in Soul Sisters. So of course, any deck that goes in my favorite modern deck of all time, the deck that got me to the Pro Tour, I'm definitely excited about. So Path of Bravery, it makes my top 10 list. Once again, I'll have more details on what decks this could go into on my article at roguedeckbuilder.com. Anyway, on to number 9. If everyone watches my channel or follows me on Facebook and Twitter and whatnot, you know how much I hate 3 and 4 color decks. The 3 color decks are okay, but 4 color decks drive me insane. And I'm so sick of how easy it is to make 4 color decks. So far there hasn't been any land spoiled for the M14, but we know that just losing like Clifftop Retreats and all of those Innistrad, whatever they call it, fixed lands, I think is what they call them, is going to hurt the 4 color decks to begin with. But there's still plenty, if they do print another dual land, which I'm sure they will in M14, whether it be the fast lands or the filter lands or whatever is left, it's going to hit those land slots. It's going to make the 4 color decks still viable. So I'm glad they printed this Burning Earth to punish them. It is a bit slow at 4 mana. Again, I wish they would have made it at 3, but 4 mana is okay. In a mono red list, you can throw this guy out and really punish those Bant or 4 color like Jund decks or the Esper decks that use very few basic lands. And yeah, so Burning Earth really punishes them and can get in there for quite a bit of damage. So I'm very excited about that. I'm glad they printed me a hose card for those 4 color decks. Thank you. Burning Earth, number 9. Number 8 is Elvish Mystic. Elvish Mystic, this guy here, if you look at it, what's so exciting about this? It's just a Llanowar Elf, right? Yes, it is, but we need a Llanowar Elf in this format. I am so excited to brew this around Beck and Call or just Elfball, any sort of Elfball deck. This is all it needs is one more mana-producing elf, and we are good to go. We'll see the Crater of Behemoth Elfball deck back in Standard. I'm so excited to see that. It's going to give me another elf to brew with. Even my Master Biomancer elf deck, again, now probably a Beck and Call deck, is going to be awesome with this dude. Another accelerator. I'm so happy for it. Elvish Mystic, looking forward to brewing with you, buddy. Llanowar Elf 2.0. I don't even know why they changed the name, but now, yeah, Legacy and Modern actually get another Llanowar Elf, which could put them over the top again. They're just that alone. 4 Llanowar Elves, 4 Elvish Mystics in the same Beck Call Elfball deck. Yeah, that's going to be awesome. Anyway, on to number 7. We've had a bit of a debate about this, which is Garruk Primal Hunter. The text is a little bit hard to see, so I'm just going to spell it out for you here. His +1 ability, first of all, he's a 6-mana Planeswalker, and in the past, 6-mana Planeswalkers haven't been the best. They're a little bit slow, but I'm really liking this dude, especially in a ramp-type deck. Anyway, what he does is Garruk Caller of the Beast is his +1, starts with 4 loyalty counters. Reveal the top 5 cards of your library. Put all creature cards revealed this way into your hand, and the rest on the bottom of your library in 8 order. All. Once again, all cards. So his +1, people are like, it's not that great. 6 mana for reveal the top 5 cards of your deck and put all of them into your hand isn't bad. They have to find an answer immediately for Garruk, or he's going to keep doing that every turn and just give you crazy card advantage. So his +1 is awesome. I really like this card. I'm not saying this is the most powerful card ever, but I'm going to love to throw this into different brews. I'm going to be sad to see Primal Hunter gone. I'm going to be sad to see Garruk Relentless gone, but this new Garruk is great as well. His -3 is you may put a green creature card from your hand onto the battlefield. People are already saying, Progenitus? That's a fun way to get Progenitus out. Also, cards like World Spineworm or any other expensive green creature you can get out for 6 mana now. And Garruk still stays alive. So, of course, you have to have it in your hand, but there's plenty of ways to fix that. It's going to be a great commander card. It's going to be a great anything card, like any sort of brewing or casual card. He's definitely going to find a home. He definitely will see standard play. I'm going to make a deck with him. I'm sure other brewers will make a deck with him, and we're going to find a way to break this dude. All right, on to the next card, which I haven't really found any sort of... I haven't broken this card yet, the Strionic Resonator, but it just seems so powerful not to break. It says 2 and tap. It's 2 to cast, which is very, very affordable to get out. 2 and tap, copy target triggered ability you control. Triggered! There's so many awesome triggered abilities that I'm thinking about. The card I need to find is when it comes into play. I think there is a card that says when it comes into play, add certain amount of mana to your mana pool. That's definitely what I'm wanting to find, because with Strionic Resonator and maybe like Voltaic Key, I'm thinking there's going to be a going infinite mana combo with some sort of card. It doesn't quite, it has to at least add 4 mana to your mana pool, or you could actually have, isn't there cards out there that activated abilities of artifacts cost less, or maybe the card itself coming into play will cost less to cast. I'm definitely thinking there's going to be some sort of infinite combo with Strionic Resonator, so I'm very excited to find that combo, brew with it. Hey, it might even be standard playable. I mean, copy target triggered ability isn't bad. It says a triggered ability uses the words when, whenever, or at. So at the beginning of your upkeep, that's a triggered ability. Whenever a creature comes into play, that's a trigger ability. Hey, there's got to be some great use with Strionic Resonator, so I'm very excited to brew this dude. On to my next card, which is another card that is very debated and very talked about, is Chandra Pyromancer. A 4 mana for 4. It's a 4 mana Planeswalker, 4 loyalty. That's great. It reminds me a lot of the Ral Zarek. I have built a couple decks that actually use Ral Zarek to its full potential. A lot of people don't like the +1 ability for Ral Zarek, but in my Hell's Lookout deck especially, that tapping down a blocker, tapping down a Thragtusk, getting it in there for damage is awesome. And Chandra works kind of the same way. It deals a damage to opponent, let me just read the text here. It says Chandra Pyromancer deals 1 damage to target player and 1 damage up to 1 target creature that player controls. That creature can't block this turn. And that's very, very important. I think people are underestimating that in an aggro deck. People are like, oh, Chandra doesn't fit in an aggro deck. Well, her +1 ability is not bad. Target creature can't block, do a damage to opponent. Yeah, I mean, it kills Lingering Souls tokens. Not the best, but it's not a bad +1 ability, especially in kind of an aggressive aggro deck. I mean, you see how good Firefist Striker has been in this format, and that target creature can't block is very, very pertinent. Now, its 0 ability says exile the top card of your library. You may play it this turn. Oh, it's card advantage for 0. If you get a land, throw it into play. If you get a sorcery, you play that instead of whatever. You're not going to be using its 0 ability the first turn that you cast Chandra the Pyromancer. You're going to be using it 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th turn, and it's great card advantage. It's a 4 mana for 4 card advantage Planeswalker. And it's -7's fun. It's another ult. Exile the top 10 cards of your library. Choose an instant or sorcery card exiled this way. It's 10 cards, mind you. You're going to hit your bomb here. And copy it 3 times. You may cast copies without paying their mana cost. what's that miracle card? 5 damage to 5 damage to any target. That's a cool one. Or I mean, even cards like I have to think of some instant sorcery spells that are just overpowered that Chandra can hit. I mean, like Urban Evolution, for example. Let's draw a gazillion cards and put a gazillion lands into play. I just throwing that out there, throwing a couple examples out there. So I think Chandra Pyromancer will see some definite play, and it is a brewer's dream come true. I absolutely love that. Great looking card too. I'm kind of got it covered here with the 5 thing, but cool looking artwork. Can't go wrong with Chandra. Did I talk about the Garruk's emblem? Let's go back to Garruk's emblem. I think I skipped over it. You get an emblem, so this is his -7. Whenever you cast a creature spell, you may search your library for a creature card and put it on the battlefield. That's a great ability. It actually works kind of well with the theme of his -3. So if you happen to get up to a -7, you can just start putting into play stupid cards like it says any card whenever cast a creature spell, you may search your library. Emrakul, anyone? Or like I said, Progenitus, all sorts of creatures that are just overpowered. You can cast a Elvish Mystic and throw out an amazing creature like Emrakul. So again, a very cool ability. We'll go back to number 4 now. Everyone knows how much I hate blue counterspell decks. Hate them. Savage Summoning, it give me away. It's like Autumn's Veil again, but it actually has a little bit of a plus to Autumn's Veil. You don't get to draw a card, so you don't get to draw a card after Savage Summoning. That's the only thing I think would make this better, but Savage Summoning can't be countered, and the next creature card you cast this spell gains flash, so you do it at the end of the turn, and can't be countered. That creature enters the battlefield with an additional +1/+1 counter. This is a total way to bone those blue decks. I cannot stand control decks. They're the most. I am so sick of playing against UWR control and Esper control and ban control. Ugh, just drives me insane that people play those decks. So Savage Summoning gives me another tool against them, and will go in a lot of my decks as an answer against those boring Esper and ban control decks. Alrighty, not that exciting card, just for the fact that it does, give me an option, give me a tool against them. So it's going into my number 3 card, which is Xathrid Necromancer. This card is amazing in a lot of decks that I like to do. Of course, I like graveyard recursion decks, and I like sack decks. And whenever Xathrid Necromancer or another human creature you control dies, put a 2/2 black zombie creature token onto the battlefield tapped. Yeah, I'm going to find a deck that exploits this dude. Tons of humans out there right now. Tons of humans that like to die, like Doom Traveler. This will go great with a Blood Artist deck and a Bloodthrone Vampire or Cartel Aristocrat deck. You can sack a ton of humans. And it just says human creature. It doesn't say non-token human creature. So you can actually sacrifice, like, Gather the Townsfolk tokens, or I'm thinking there's the Sunhome Guild Mage. Isn't that his name? Yeah, that dude, he puts in 1/1 tokens, or even tokens like, I'm really stretching here, but Assemble the Legion, doesn't that? No, that just puts in soldier. That doesn't put in humans. Both of those are soldiers. So any other human, I know there's some other human tokens out there besides Gather Townsfolk, but Gather Townsfolk by itself is pretty good with that the Necromancer, because it works perfectly into a Lingering Souls and Intangible Virtue type deck too, as you can sack a bunch of those, like I said, Doom Traveler and a few other creatures, and just combo off with the Blood Artist and a sack engine like Cartel Aristocrat. So I'm definitely thinking this will see amazing play. If nothing else, I mean, it's a twofer. You're going to get a 2/2 out of this dude, and then when it dies, you get another 2/2 zombie creature. So not bad. Like I said, there's got to be some combinations with this card. Very, very excited. Now, those cards are exciting. My 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, and 3. These next 2 cards are going to have me buying and drafting a lot of M14. Now, I'm so excited about my number 2, Grim Return. People are underestimating this card already. Choose target creature card in a graveyard that was put there from the battlefield this turn. Put that card on the battlefield under your control. Well, you're in black. Black destroys creatures. Your opponent's best creature now becomes yours. Your best creature that's died now becomes back into play. I love Grim Return. If nothing else, it's like a 3-mana regenerate. Amazing card. But people are forgetting about Evoke. Evoke is an amazing ability back in, I can't remember what block, Lorwyn or something that it came out. that you can cast a creature for very, very cheap and it dies that turn to get that ability, like Mole Drifter, or help me out here. What are some other evoke cards that Grim Return will work with? But I'm just thinking evoke, or there's a lot of cards like when it comes into play, sack it unless you play, or when you cast this spell, sack it unless you play this. So Grim Return, I think, will be amazing. And it's going to have some combinations, I'm sure, in Modern. I'm thinking in Standard even you could figure out some combinations when, you know, any sort of comes into play type card dies, put it back into play. So it's a 3-mana reanimation target. I mean, it has to die. I understand that your card has to die, but that's not too hard in this format. It's very, very easy. So loving the Grim Return. Anywho, on to my favorite card that I'm so excited to brew with, and I think everyone else is Young Pyromancer. The deck that got my channel to break out was Epic Experiment Burn at the Stake combo, and Young Pyromancer fits in that deck perfectly. I've been waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting since Return to Ravnica for a card that actually fits in that deck, and Gatecrash gave me nothing, and Dragon's Maze really didn't give me anything either. Young Pyromancer is the perfect card. The problem with Talrand, a lot of times Talrand is too slow for the Epic Experiment deck. Young Pyromancer is fast as fast. It gets 1/1 red elemental creature tokens immediately when you start casting those instants or sorcery spells. People are already talking about it in Storm in Modern. I'm actually going to go even further and say, hey, let's try a Burn of the Stake deck in Modern with Battle Hymn and Young Pyromancer. And then you have cards like Ataxian Probe, and what are some other free cards you can just cast. But you won't need all the like Seething Songs and whatnot, and your kill condition can, instead of being Grape Shot, can just be Burn at the Stake. And Burn at the Stake's pretty cool too. It costs 5 mana, but with Battle Hymn, it won't be too hard to ramp up to it. And cards like Manamorphosis and, like I said, Gataxian Probe and a million other cards can make Young Pyromancer. You can really, really exploit Young Pyromancer. So Storm is back. It's definitely going to hit the Modern scene. It's definitely hit the Standard scene with cards like Epic Experiment and Burn at the Stake. I'm loving to have one more go with it, and they have to kill it immediately. It's going to card advantage immediately. I'm going to play cards probably like Thought Scour or Faithless Looting. I don't know. Any ways to cheat in those 1/1 red elemental creature tokens, and then eventually hit the Battle Hymn, Burn at the Stake combination. Works so perfectly because as soon as you hit Battle Hymn, it puts one in, and then you add mana. And same thing, I believe, with... No, Burn at the Stake, you'd have to tap, so you won't get the token in response to actually tap for it. But it's still really, 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 really powerful. I'm thinking that I'm going to get off some easy turn 3, turn 4 kills with Young Pyromancer in Standard. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this list. Please feel free to put your own list in the comments, or if you want to do a video response to this, I'll be more than happy to post it. You can always send me videos if you share the Dropbox, your Dropbox folder, www.dropbox.org, I think, and you can download your free Dropbox program. If you share with Rogue Deck Builder and tell me that you would like to have a top 10 list on my channel, I'll be more than happy to post it on my channel, give you a little shout out. If you want your own channel spotlighted, this is a great way to get it spotlighted. I'm looking forward to seeing your list. Remember, if you do not have a Dropbox account right now, I'd sure appreciate it if you would download Dropbox and say that roguedeckbuilder@gmail.com referred you. That'll give me another 500 megabytes. And with the amount of people that are sending me videos, that's awesome. And so I'd love your support if you can have me refer you to Dropbox and give me another 500 megabytes. Anyway, yeah, looking forward to hearing your video responses and comments to this. Please go check out the article that is going to go alongside this at www.roguedeckbuilder.com. We'll have it in the links in the description. Remember to like and subscribe. This is Kevin from roguedeckbuilder.com. Thanks for watching.